Hello everyone, my name is Shelly. I'm a sales associate here at Design Manager, and today we're going to be doing a quick demonstration of our ProCloud software. Now within Design Manager ProCloud, we do have two main functions of the software. We have full project management as well as full accounting. Everything here in Design Manager is fully integrated, so once you get that information in one spot, it is going to follow you throughout the whole software to help you save time and be very efficient. So with that being said, once you get your company template set up, it's very important to start with your clients. So you'll see here in our list and glossary section, we do have our client tab. Now when we open this up, we'll be able to see our full client glossary and all of the clients that we've entered into the software so far. Now we do have two main ways you can get your clients in here. The first being our add button down here. So if we just click add, this is when we can begin to manually enter all of our clients into the software. Or if you have your client list on an Excel spreadsheet, you can mass import that into the software so they would all just dump in here at once. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of our clients so you are able to see all of the information that you can store here. You'll see we have our name, address, email, phone number. All of your basic information about this client is what's important to get in here. You don't have to have all of these fields filled in. You can always come back later and add more, come back later and make edits. But it is important to just get that basic information in here so that way when you go to create that project for that client, all of this information will just pre-populate for you so you don't have to spend time entering it again. So once we get our client set up, that's when we can jump over to our projects. So let's come over here to our management tab and we will see our projects. And now when we open this up, we can now see all of our ongoing projects and some of the information that goes along with them. So we'll see our project name, followed by the client that we're working on this project for. We could even add a specific designer to this project if we have someone working on it. And then just a little bit more information like when we opened this project and if we have a budget set up. Let's go ahead and take a look into one of our projects so we can see everything that goes into setting it up. So you'll see here on our info tab, once we've entered our client's name, all of this information did just pre-populate for us. And you'll see we have a spot for not only your billing address, but if you do have multiple addresses associated with this project, you are able to specify those down here. So we have a spot for your site address as well as a ship to address if you do have multiple addresses with this project. Next over, just going to be our defaults tab. Here's where we're going to be able to see all of that important information that's going to print out right on our documents for us. So we're going to have our purchase order side mark and designer extension. These print out right on our purchase orders for us, so our vendors always know who to come into contact with if something comes up. And then we have our client deposit and client invoice terms. So these print out right on our invoices for us, so our clients always know what's due and when it's due. And then we have our time billing tier. So within Design Manager, we do have a robust time billing system. So this time billing tier just ties back into that on how we're going to be billing out this client at what rate. Further over is going to be our notes section. This is where we can just keep any notes about this project or this client. And then that brings us to our budgeting system. So within Design Manager, we do have a few different ways you can budget out your projects. The first is going to have our budget total down here, so if we want to just have one set budget for this whole project, we could enter it in. But then you'll see we can have smaller sub-budgets based off sales category and by location within our overall total budget. So our budgeting system is very customizable. You can come in here and add as many different budgets as you would like, and pretty much budget out your project however you need. Now our budgeting system then does generate project reports that you're able to run to always see where those budgets are within your different projects that you're working on. So this is really everything that goes into setting up your project. Once we have all of this set, that's when we can dive into the fun stuff. We can start specifying those items. So again, we're going to come up to our management tab and we'll see that project specs window right next to our projects. And now when we open up this window, it is going to prompt us to enter in that project we're working on. We'll stick with our Pacific Port Retreat. And when we open it up, we can now see a spreadsheet-like window of all of the items that we've entered into this project so far and some of the information that goes along with them. So you'll see over here we have our location. If we have a grouper name set up, our unique reference number that ties into all of the items we've entered in, spec and plan number. Then that brings us to the thumbnail image that we've chosen to go along with this item, our name and description, quantity and unit of measure, and then that brings us to our status codes. So within Design Manager, we do have automatic status codes that help you keep track of where your items are throughout the workflow. So for example, our woven display box here, we did just enter it into the software, so it's still specifying. But as soon as we take this item, add it to a proposal to send off to our client, it's automatically going to update for us to awaiting client approval, and then so forth and so on throughout the rest of the workflow. These are the statuses that do come pre-configured in the software for you already, but if you like to track different things or use different verbiage, they are fully customizable, so you can go in there and custom them to your own personal firm's workflow. Next over, we will just see the last proposal, last purchase order, last invoice this item was on, if we've set up any tasks and reminders for ourselves about this item, and lastly, just the vendor where this item came from. Now let's go ahead and dive into how we can actually get these items into our Design Manager account. We do have a few ways, all of which are very simple. The first is going to be our Add button down here. So if we come down here and click Add, this is when we can begin manually typing in our name description, followed by a larger box where we can add any more details about this item we would like to. And then down here is where we could add any components to this item. So for example, if we have a sofa with a custom fabric, we would enter in that custom fabric down here in the component section. And I like to mention that everything up top about the item is what's going to be client facing, while all of our components down here is what's going to be vendor facing. So essentially we could have 10 different components that go into creating this custom item, but all our client's going to see is the actual item that we're creating for them. Now if we come over here to our picture tab, this is where we could either copy and paste a picture in here for this item, or we could upload it directly from our computer. The next way we can get items into our projects is from our inventory button. So if you are a firm that does hold inventory or have leftover items, you can store them here in Design Manager in our full inventory feature, and then pull them directly into your projects very easily using that inventory button down here. So if we go ahead and open this up, we could either type in our stock number if we know it, or we can use our magnifying glass feature here, and this is going to pull up our full inventory for us, and then we can scroll through all of our items, find that certain item we would like to pull in from inventory, highlight it, click choose. It is going to pull in this vase for us and all of the information that we have saved about it directly into our project. Now the next way is from our catalog feature, so very similar to inventory, but these are items that we have not yet purchased. Kind of like a favorite section. If you have items you find yourself using time and time again, or items that you'd always just like to have on hand, you can store them up here in our catalog feature, and then the same as inventory, very easily pull them into your projects just using our catalog button. So again, when we open it up, we can either type in the catalog number if we know it offhand, or use our really great magnifying feature. And again, it's going to pull up our catalog for us. We can simply just scroll through these items, highlight them, pull it directly into our project, clicking choose, and it is going to pull in that item and all of the information we do have saved about it. So those are the three main ways from the software that we can get items into our project. The last way is one of my favorite ways. It's our easiest way to get items into the software very quickly, and that is from our product clipper. So our product clipper is a Google Chrome extension that you can download directly from the Chrome store. It is a free add-on. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And once we have our product clipper downloaded, we can use it on any of our vendors' websites, any online site that we're shopping from, pretty much anywhere on the internet that you have an item, you can use the product clipper to pull it into the software. So we're here on First Dibs. We really like this table lamp and we want to pull it into our Design Manager account. So we're going to come up here to our Google Chrome extension. We're going to see that DM icon up here, and we're going to open it up. And now very quickly and easily we can pull in all of the information about this lamp and send it to our Design Manager account with just a few clicks. So we'll see, we first want to grab our image here. So if we just hover over the image of that lamp, that DM icon is going to appear for us. If we just come up here and click on it, it's going to pull that picture in so quickly for us. And then we can come down the fields and grab the rest of the information we would like to save. So we'll come in here, click in our item name, come up here, grab that item name. We can come down here to our description, grab the description for us. Once we have our vendors set up in the software, if we just begin to type that in, it's going to populate for us and recognize those vendors. And then we can come down here and just grab the rest of the information we find important. Like a lot of fields in Design Manager, these aren't all mandatory to be able to save this item. We just need our picture and either an item name or item description, and then we can save this clipping with what other information is important to us. Now that we have everything saved about this item we would like, we simply just have to click save and it's going to send it directly to our Design Manager account. So now we could either continue clipping more items, or if we go back into our Design Manager account, we can see all of the different options we have to do with this table lamp now. So our product clipper does go hand in hand with our whiteboard feature. So this is where all of our captures are going to land first, and then from here is when we can do multiple different things with them. So let's go ahead and open up this button down here on the bottom right, just so we can see all of the different options we have now. So you'll see we can create it as an item, we could create it as a component, we could send it to our inventory or to our catalog. We could even duplicate it, and in that case, we could then create it as a catalog item or create it as an item and do both with it. We could even transfer it to another user and have them associate it with a project. Or if you get it in here and decide you don't like it, simply you can just delete it. But before we can create this as an item in our project, we do just need to come over here to the pencil and edit this capture. We just need to let the software know what project we would like it on, what location, and just our sales category. Once we have those three fields associated, we can see all of the other information has pulled over from First Dibs for us. And now we have everything that we need to be able to create this as an item in our project. So we'll come back over here to create item. The software is just going to ask us if we would like to open up this item now to view it, make any edits. We can go ahead and click yes. This is where you'd be able to add any components, make any edits we would like to this item, but everything looks good. So very quickly, let's jump back into our project specifications just so we can see that item with all of our other items in our Pacific Port Retreat that we're working on. I do like to mention that all of our gray fields up top are going to act as a sorting method. So for example, if we want to very quickly get to those most recent items we just entered in, all we have to do is click reference number and it's going to reverse that order for us. And we can see our table lamp here and we can see our status as specifying. So no matter our method of entry on getting items into the software, once we do so, the hard work is over since Design Manager is fully integrated. We're not going to have to worry about creating spreadsheets or entering this information in time and time again. It is all saved here for us. And so the next to take this table lamp we did just enter in and add it to a proposal so we can send it off to our client for approval. So let's go ahead and learn how we can do that. So we're going to come up here to our Documents tab and we're going to open up our proposals. Even though this page is titled Proposals, we can create and do so much more than just add proposals. So let's go ahead and first enter in that project we're working on. And once we do so, we can see all of the proposals we've created so far and a little bit of information that goes along with them. So we can see when this proposal was sent, the proposal number, a name or phase if we created one for it, the status of this item, files which we'll get into in just a few minutes, and then some of the accounting information that goes along with these proposals. Now in our case, we do want to create a new proposal so we can add that lamp to it so we can send it off to our client. So we're going to come down here to add. And now we'll be able to see all of the items that we have not yet proposed. And this is where we can choose our lamp to add it to our proposal. Here in our proposal window, we can tag as many or as few items that we would like on this proposal simply by coming over here and clicking tag. And once we do so, that's when we know this item will be on the proposal that we're going to be creating. So once we've tagged our lamp here, we can come up here to our name or phase and we can delete Pacific Port Retreat. And this is where we can make it a little bit more customizable. So we're going to go ahead and do table lamp. So that's now what's going to show up on this proposal for us. And then we can come over here to our styles. So within Design Manager, we do have three main styles you can choose from. We have our residential, we have our commercial, and as well as our modern. And with all three of these styles, we do have the option where you can show with deposit or with group pricing only. And then you'll see down here at the bottom that we can create not only proposals, but we can come in here and create spec sheets, bid sheets, and even tear sheets if we would like to. We're going to go ahead and stick with our modern proposal because this is the style that we like to use. So once we have this set and we would like to show pictures on it, we can come down here and click OK. And then this is going to generate our proposal for us. So we're going to be able to see it before we send it off to our client. So we'll see we have our company logo at the top, followed by all of the information that we have added to this proposal. We have our picture and our description, as well as that deposit we have requested down here. So this is what our client is going to see when we send this proposal off to them. So let's go back into the software, and this is where we can see that proposal that we just created. All we have to do to be able to send it to our client is simply just tag it over here on the left again and click send. We're going to see this one proposal number 44 that we have created, and again we're just going to come down here and click send. And this is where we can make any edits to this email that we would like to. So we can just change the email address. We can add any other email addresses that we would like to send this off. We can come in here and edit our subject. We can add a message. Hey, check out this lamp. And then we can simply just send it off to our client. The proposal has been sent successfully, so that's just going to go directly to our client's email. We see that that sent status did just update to the time we sent it, and we know that our client did receive that proposal in an email as a link. They can go ahead and click on that link and view our proposal, and from that email they can choose to make any payments they would like on that proposal, the amount requested for the deposit. Now we can go ahead and fast forward our design process a little and say that they received that proposal, they loved the lamp, they paid us our deposit requested. So now it would be time to create a purchase order so we could go ahead and order that lamp from First Dibs. So let's go ahead and come up here to Documents, and this is where we can see our purchase orders. And again, it's going to prompt us to enter in that project that we're working on. And when we go ahead and open up that project, we can now see all of the purchase orders we've created so far. To simply add a new one, all we have to do is come down here to add purchase order. And when we open up this window, we can see all of the items that have not yet been created on a purchase order yet. And this is where we're going to come down here and find that table lamp that we just added in. And again, we're simply just going to tag it over here on the left. We could tag as many or as few items as we would like, and Design Manager would separate those purchase orders based off ship to and vendor and create multiple different purchase orders for us. But today we just want to create a purchase order for this table lamp we just got confirmation from our client on. So we're going to tag it over here and click OK. And once we do so, we can now see that that purchase order is going to be generated for us, and we can come down here and click OK again. Our purchase order is going to open up in our software for us, and this is where we can check it out and make sure everything looks okay. We can add how we would like the item to be shipped, if we have a specific account number with our vendor, and any terms that we do request before shipping off the item. Now, to be able to send this to our vendor, we can come up here and click on this little button, and this is where we can either email it off to our vendor or we can print it out and simply just hand it to them. So everything looks good on our purchase order, so this is when we're going to accept it. So our purchase order window does act as a tracking method as well. So this purchase order that we did just send off, we can come down here to our receive status button, and this is when we can add as little or as much tracking information to this item as we would like to. So say we did just order this lamp off the First Dibs website, we can put in that acknowledgement date when we received a confirmation and our confirmation number in here. If we come over here and click on the little pencil button for this purchase order, this is when we can add all that rest of the tracking information that we would like. So we could put in when this item is expected to ship, when we received it, as little or as much information as you would like here. And this then does generate tracking reports that you're able to run to track all of your items. Moving forward in the process a bit, we can imagine that we sent off this purchase order and we received our item. So now it would be time to invoice the client for the remaining balance. So to do so, we will come over here to our accounting tab, and we're going to open up our client invoices. And if we had any new invoices, they would show up here. We can see all of our existing invoices in our software, but to create a new invoice, we're simply going to come down here to add invoice. And again, prompting us to enter in that project we're working on. And once we do so, we can then see all of the items that have not yet been invoiced. And again, we can come over here and tag as few or as many that we would like to add to this invoice. We'll come down here and find that lamp. We're going to tag it over here on the left. And then to create an invoice, we're going to come over here and click OK. And we'll see that one invoice that we have here, and we have the option to either journal or post it. If we post it, this is when we can go ahead and preview that invoice. And again, with our invoices, we can change the style on it, so we can choose whatever different style we're working with. We're going to stick with modern. Our invoices are again going to open up in our web browser. Just like our proposals, we can see all of that information on here with the requested balance due. And just like that, we've created our invoices for our clients. So we're going to go ahead and accept it. And now just like that, with a few simple steps, we can pull any number of items into our software as we want, vet them on the whiteboard, create any number of documents for them, as well as go into our accounting and even invoice our clients, all right here within Design Manager Pro Cloud. If you have any additional questions, please email sales@designmanager.com. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope this demonstration of Pro Cloud helped. We look forward to working with you soon. Thanks.